You see, most people live under the illusion that life is something they must conquer, that they must struggle against the currents of uncertainty, striving endlessly to control outcomes, manipulate circumstances, and force their desires into reality. But what if you stopped? What if instead of bracing yourself against the chaos, you leaned into the rhythm of the universe with a quiet, unwavering trust that everything, yes, everything, always works out for you? It's curious, isn't it? This idea of acting as though the game is rigged in your favor, not with arrogance, not with entitlement, but with the serenity of someone who knows they are part of something far greater than their own plans. Imagine moving through your days with the unshakable belief that life is not a series of random misfortunes or haphazard victories, but a perfectly orchestrated dance in which every misstep, every delay, every so-called failure is simply a clever turn in the choreography. Not an error, but an invitation to see things differently. The problem is, we've been conditioned to think that the only way to succeed is to fight against the flow of life, to clench our fists in determination, to bulldoze through obstacles as though we are separate from the very force that carries us. We armor ourselves with worry, expecting disappointment just to shield ourselves from the sting of it. We say things like, "I'm just being realistic," when in fact, we are only being afraid. We've become so accustomed to fear and resistance that we treat uncertainty like a threat rather than an adventure. The uncertainty, the unknown, it's not an enemy, it's an invitation. What if, instead of fighting to control life, you chose to surrender to its natural unfolding? What if you trusted that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when the map makes no sense? You see, the truth is this: you are not the one who's in charge. You are a part of something much larger, a wave in an endless ocean of possibility. And the ocean knows where it's going. You don't need to know. You only need to trust the process. The truth of this is simple, but profound. The more we try to control, the more we set ourselves up for suffering. For when you hold too tightly, life will inevitably slip through your fingers. The tighter you grip the future, the more distant it becomes. The more you cling to certainty, the more life seems to challenge you with the unexpected. But what if the key to peace, to joy, to fulfillment, is not in gripping tighter, but in releasing? What if you could stop pretending to be in charge and instead begin to live as if everything is already working out for you? The road ahead may be winding, the storm clouds may gather, but that is just part of the dance. Even the moments that seem like failure, loss, or delay are but the steps that lead you to something greater. When you stop fighting the current no longer fights you. Life in its wisdom will carry you precisely where you need to go. All you have to do is trust. You might wonder, what if letting go means I lose something important? But I would ask you, how many things have you lost by holding on too tightly? How many moments have passed you by because you were too busy controlling the next one? Letting go doesn't mean abandoning life. It means embracing it fully, just as it is, knowing that the dance is already happening and you're already part of it. The illusion of control is a heavy burden, but the freedom that comes with trusting the flow now, that's the gift, and it's waiting for you to accept it. Now, imagine moving through your days with a quiet faith that everything, yes, everything, is unfolding perfectly. This doesn't mean life will always go according to plan, nor does it mean you will avoid pain, loss, or difficulty. It simply means that you trust in something far greater than yourself, something that has always known exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. This is the power of trust, an unwavering belief that everything works out for you, not in spite of challenges, but because of them. It's like a river, meandering through valleys and over rocks, not questioning its path. It doesn't struggle to control the current. It doesn't waste energy trying to figure out the exact destination. It simply flows, adapting to whatever is in its way, trusting that the flow will carry it where it needs to go. The river doesn't need to understand every twist and turn to know that it is on the right course. It surrenders to the movement of the water, and in doing so, it becomes part of a greater harmony. What if you could do the same? What if, instead of fighting every obstacle, you began to meet them with curiosity? What if every setback, every misstep, was not seen as a failure, but as a part of the grand plan? What if the challenges that seemed to delay your progress were actually nudging you towards something better? Life, after all, does not work in straight lines. It speaks in spirals, in paradoxes, in synchronicities. And the more we try to make sense of it with our limited understanding, the more we miss the beauty in its unfolding. Here's the secret. The more we cling to control, the more we miss the magic of the present moment. The more we resist life's flow, the more we create friction, and friction leads to suffering. But when you trust, truly trust, that life is guiding you, everything softens. The storm clouds that once seemed threatening become part of the dance, as much a part of the landscape as the sun rays that follow. Life, in all its unpredictability, begins to reveal itself as a series of graceful turns, a sequence that only makes sense when you stop trying to force it. Now, this doesn't mean you become passive or stop taking action. No, action is still necessary, but the energy behind it changes. When you act from a place of trust, your steps become more aligned. They are not frantic, not rushed, not driven by anxiety. They come from a space of knowing that you are already on the right path, even when the next step is unclear. It's like being a dancer who knows the rhythm, who doesn't need to see the entire choreography in advance, but knows that each step will lead to the next. When you trust the process, you stop waiting for the world to show you evidence that you're on the right track. You stop demanding proof. And, strangely enough, that's when the world begins to mirror your faith back to you. Circumstances soften. Opportunities arise. People appear when you need them, often without explanation. Life begins to align, not because you've manipulated it, but because you've aligned yourself with it. This is where the paradox lies. Trust is not passive. It is not about waiting for things to happen to you. It is about aligning your energy with the unfolding, allowing life to flow through you. And when you do this, when you trust the process fully, you begin to see that the universe has been moving in your favor all along. You simply didn't know it. The only thing holding you back is the illusion that you need to control everything. But when you let go of that illusion, life starts to unfold in a way that feels effortless because you've stopped resisting its natural rhythm. Trust the process, not because you know how things will turn out, but because you know they are always working out for you. And when you know that, truly know that, you can walk through life with a quiet confidence that is unshakable. You no longer feel the need to force. You no longer need to fight. You simply trust that the next step will come when the time is right. And when it does, you will be ready. Because the process isn't just about the destination. It's about becoming, about unfolding in the most natural way possible. And when you trust, when you let go, you align with that unfolding. And that's when the magic happens. Here's where things get truly curious. You see, in our desperate attempt to control, we often forget the most profound truth, that letting go is not giving up, but opening up. It is not a surrender of power, but an invitation for something greater to move through you. To trust life's flow doesn't mean to stop participating. It means to stop forcing. Think about it. We live in a culture that constantly tells us to take charge, to make things happen, to push forward with relentless effort. And yet, the more we push, the more life seems to resist. The harder we grip the reins, the more they slip through our fingers. It's like holding on to water in a clenched fist. No matter how hard we try, it slips away, leaving us frustrated and empty. But what happens when we open our hands? When we let go, not in defeat, but in surrender to the natural rhythm of life. It's the moment when we stop insisting that everything must happen according to our plans, and instead allow life to unfold on its own terms. And in that moment, something extraordinary happens. Life begins to breathe through us. We stop trying to control the dance, and instead, we move with it. Think of the ocean. The waves don't try to control the tides. They don't struggle against the pull of the moon or fight the ebb and flow of the water. They simply rise and fall, following the rhythm of the planet itself. And in this surrender to the natural order, they create beauty. They move, they shift, they become part of something much larger than themselves. The waves aren't in charge of the ocean. They are the ocean, moving exactly as it should. This is the paradox. By letting go of the need to control, you don't lose your power. You gain access to a power far greater than your own. You begin to see the universe not as something you must fight against, but as something you are an integral part of, a dance that you get to participate in, not force. The more you let go of the idea that you have to direct every moment, the more life will flow through you naturally. The more you stop trying to force things into shape, more they fall into place. But here's where the mind resists. We believe that letting go means we'll lose something important. We fear that if we stop clinging, we'll miss out on the things we desire. But what if, in letting go, we discover that what we were clinging to was never truly ours to begin with? What if, by surrendering control, we open ourselves up to a greater gift? The irony of life is that what we often fight for, what we chase so desperately, is the very thing that eludes us. But when we let go, when we surrender to the flow of the universe, we align ourselves with a force that moves us in the right direction, often in ways we never could have planned or imagined. There is a subtle beauty in this surrender. It's not a passive resignation, but an active participation in life's unfolding. It's like being a dancer who knows the rhythm, but doesn't need to see the entire choreography. You move with the music, trusting that each step will lead to the next. The dance is not about forcing your body to do what it doesn't want to do. It's about flowing with the rhythm, trusting that each move, each step, each turn is exactly what you need. And this trust is what frees you. When you stop fighting, when you let go of the need to control the future, you begin to experience life as a dance rather than a struggle. The paradox is this: the more you let go, the more life gives you. The more you release the grip on your expectations, the more you open yourself up to the unexpected miracles that have always been waiting for you. But the question remains: how do we truly let go? How do we stop clinging to our expectations, our desires, our need for certainty? It begins with awareness. It begins with recognizing that everything you need is already here. It begins with acknowledging that, in this very moment, you are already whole, already worthy, already exactly where you need to be. Letting go means accepting that the journey is already unfolding, that the next step will come when it's time. When you let go of the need to control, you make room for life to show up in ways you never thought possible. You stop demanding from life, and in that surrender, you finally allow it to give you what you need. The moment you stop fighting, life begins to fight for you. It begins to reveal itself as a gift, already in motion, waiting for you to step into it. And this is the magic of surrender. When you stop pushing against life, you finally become one with it. You don't have to chase, you just have to be. Life, in its purest essence, is a dance. Not a race, not a struggle to reach the finish line, but a flowing, rhythmic movement in which every step, every turn, every misstep is part of a larger choreography. The beauty of this dance lies not in its predictability, but in its unpredictability. It's not about getting to a destination. It's about being in the movement, feeling the rhythm, and trusting that the dance will take you exactly where you need to go. We have been taught to view life through the lens of goals, destinations, and results. We rush from one achievement to the next, always anticipating the future, always looking ahead. But this way of thinking creates tension. It makes us rigid, focused only on the finish line, instead of the beauty of the steps we are taking right now. When we are so focused on the destination, we forget to dance in the present moment, missing the opportunity to fully live, to fully experience the movement of life itself. But what if life isn't a race at all? What if it's a dance, a delicate interplay between chaos and order, between the known and the unknown, between what we want and what we need. Imagine for a moment that life is not a series of obstacles to overcome, but a spontaneous, ever-evolving dance. The rhythm of life is constant, whether we are aware of it or not. It is always in motion, always shifting, always unfolding. And when we move with it, instead of against it, we begin to feel its beauty and grace. Think about a dancer. She doesn't constantly worry about where her next step will land. She trusts the music, trusts her body, and allows the dance to unfold naturally. There is no fear in her movements, no resistance to what comes next. She simply moves, trusting that each step will be the right one. And in that trust, in that surrender to the rhythm, she becomes part of the music itself. This is how life wants us to move, effortlessly, gracefully, with the understanding that each step is a part of a larger, divine design. We too are dancers in this great cosmic performance, and the universe is the music that guides us. Every challenge, every twist, every detour is simply another note in the song. It's easy to get caught up in the noise, to focus only on the next move. But true freedom comes when we stop trying to control the dance and simply become the dance itself. This is where the magic lies. When we stop forcing life to follow our plans, life begins to reveal its own patterns. We stop resisting the natural flow, and in doing so, we begin to feel truly alive. The dance of life isn't always smooth, and it certainly isn't always predictable. There will be moments of confusion, of struggle, of uncertainty. But what if these moments weren't interruptions? What if they were invitations to adjust our steps, to trust that life has a rhythm of its own, even when we can't quite see it? Life is not a series of random events. It is a sequence, a flow, a pattern. And everything that seems like chaos is simply part of a greater harmony we cannot yet comprehend. When we stop trying to control every note, every step, every moment, we begin to understand that the dance is not about perfection. It's about movement, about flow, about being attuned to these present, to the rhythm that is already unfolding. The more we fight against it, the more we create resistance. But when we surrender to it, life begins to dance with us. This is the paradox of the dance. When we stop trying to control, we finally begin to lead. Life is not about forcing our will onto the world around us. It's about being fully present in each moment, fully engaged in the flow, without demanding that it look a certain way. The beauty of life emerges when we let go of our expectations and allow ourselves to be swept up in the dance. Imagine how different life would feel if you stopped treating it like a struggle, like a series of hurdles to jump over, and instead viewed it as a dance, a rhythm to be felt and embraced. The storms, the disappointments, the delays, they are not enemies of the dance. They are simply part of the music, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves, of others, and of the world. The key is to move with them, not against them. To trust that, no matter what the next step may be, it will be the right one. When you live as if life is a dance, you stop worrying about the outcome. You stop stressing about the steps you've missed, or the steps you're afraid of taking. You simply live, with an open heart, with an open mind, trusting that each note will lead you to the next. And when you trust that the dance is already unfolding perfectly, you begin to experience life as it was always meant to be experienced. Free, effortless, and beautiful. So the next time life throws you off balance, when the unexpected happens and you feel lost or uncertain, take a breath. Feel the rhythm. Let go of the need to control, and trust that the next step will come. You are not alone in this dance. You are part of something much greater. And when you trust the flow, when you surrender to the dance, you'll find that life has always been guiding you toward exactly where you need to be. Let the dance unfold and move with it. And now, we arrive at the final truth. The freedom that comes from acting as if everything is already working out for you. This is not about pretending or faking it until you make it. It's not about putting on a mask of confidence when you feel unsure. It's about embodying a truth so deeply, so fully, that it shifts everything within you and around you. To act as if everything is working out for you is not to lie to yourself, but to remember what you already know deep inside. You see, the world we experience is shaped not by what happens to us, but by how we respond to what happens. It is shaped by our inner world, by our beliefs, our thoughts, and our expectations. We've been taught to live as though the external world dictates our state of being, like we have to wait for life to give us the proof we need before we can feel secure, joyful, or abundant. But here's the paradox. It is not the world that must change. To meet your expectations, it is you who must change first. To act as if everything is already working out for you means to live as though you already have everything you desire. Not because you are pretending, but because you are aligning with a deeper truth. When you act as if you are already loved, already successful, already whole, you stop living from a place of lack. You stop waiting for the world to tell you you're enough, and instead, you begin to recognize that you've always been enough. This is the essence of freedom. The freedom to live as if you already are the person you wish to become, without waiting for external circumstances to validate it. This is not about arrogance or entitlement. It's about the quiet confidence of knowing that everything you need is already within you. It's about acting from a place of trust in the natural flow of life, instead of desperation or fear. When you act as if everything is already working out for you, you begin to attract the life you desire, not by forcing it, but by aligning yourself with it. This doesn't mean you sit back passively and wait for the universe to deliver. No, you still take inspired action. But that action is no longer motivated by fear, by the need to prove yourself, or by the anxiety of, what if this doesn't work? Instead, you act because you know that life is already unfolding in your favor, and you're simply joining the rhythm of that unfolding. The freedom in this is profound. You no longer need to chase. You no longer need to push, strive, or grind yourself into exhaustion. Instead, you move with life, allowing things to come to you rather than chasing after them. When you trust that everything is working out for you, you no longer look at setbacks as failures. You look at them as opportunities, lessons that are leading you closer to where you need to be. You no longer see delays as inconveniences, but as divine timing at work. But here's the trick. To act as if everything is working out for you requires a deep shift in how you see yourself. It requires that you let go of the old story, the one that tells you that you are incomplete, that you are lacking, that you need something else to be whole. When you stop living from that story, when you start living as if you are already whole, the world starts to mirror that wholeness back to you. What if, instead of constantly seeking, you simply became the person you already are on the inside? What if you stopped waiting for the right moment, the right circumstances, the right validation, and simply lived as if you were already in alignment with the life you desire? The irony is that by acting as if you already have everything, you begin to experience the freedom of having everything, because, in truth, you already do. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges. Life will still throw its curveballs, its twists and turns. But when you walk through life with the unshakable belief that everything is working out for you, you move through those challenges with grace, curiosity, and ease. You no longer see obstacles as problems, but as part of the unfolding, as part of the dance. And in this new perspective, you realize that the universe is not working against you, it's working with you. So, start today. Act as if everything is already working out for you. Walk into your day, not with fear, but with trust. Not with hesitation, but with a quiet knowing. Move through life as if you already are the person you wish to become. You'll find that the more you do this, the more life begins to align with that inner truth. The more you trust, the more life will mirror that trust back to you. And soon, you'll realize that you are not waiting for the world to change. You are the one who has changed. You are the one who has aligned with the flow. And in doing so, you've unlocked the freedom to live fully, completely, and without resistance. In the end, life isn't a puzzle to solve, it's a dance to join. And when you act as if everything is already working out for you, you stop fighting to fit in and instead allow yourself to become part of the rhythm. You'll find that when you trust the process, life always has a way of meeting you exactly where you are and guiding you exactly where you need to go.